June 4th conference date set for Erika's $25 million fraudulent conveyance case. Big news in the ongoing $25 million fraudulent conveyance case against Erika Girardi. Mark your calendars for June 4, 2025. The judge has scheduled a conference, and it's set to be a juicy one. There are some interesting questions on the table, especially around Erika's long-desired jury trial. Some want to speed things up by having the bankruptcy court address the non-jury claims first, which could bring quicker results. But honestly, at this point, everyone just wants a fast trial for everything. The district judge also has the option to tackle the non-jury claims first, so we'll see. One thing's for sure, Erika has managed to delay this case for a whole 4 years. With the clock ticking, it's clear that the well is running dry, and it's time to put the pedal to the metal. But wait, is this about her spending stolen money or Marco? Well, let's take a trip down memory lane. If you remember back to season 6 of The Real Housewives, Erika was flaunting her wealth like it was going out of style. It almost seemed like money grew on trees for her, probably because, for a while, it kind of did. For those who missed it, The Housewife and the Hustler is a must-watch. Season 2, which just dropped, opens with Erika meeting 3 of the victims of her husband's alleged schemes. When asked if she knows them, Erika has the audacity to say, "I don't know anything about you." But the real kicker comes at the end of episode 2, when those same victims are watching The Real Housewives, and there's Erika on screen, bragging about how her family owns 2 private jets. Meanwhile, the victims she met are owed millions. Can you say tone deaf? Sutton. So I watched RHOBH until Vanderpump left, then just picked it up again this season. Is Sutton really that bad all these years? Because I can't help but feel for her. Erika and Dorit are practically joined at the hip. It's a joke. Kyle, she's completely checked out. I really don't understand why Sutton's so loyal to her when Kyle gives absolutely nothing in return. Erika, on the other hand, is just a mean girl, and Dorit's right there as her little chihuahua, barking after she makes a mess. And then there's Sutton's drinking this season. She starts out somewhat composed, then quickly turns into a hot mess, being totally irrational and acting out. It's like clockwork. She feels bad, promises to do better the next day, and then repeats the cycle. Classic alcoholic behavior. And let's not ignore her appearance. Puffy face, swollen eyes, bony limbs, bloated stomach. It's clear she has no control. But honestly, I love Sutton. She's by far my favorite housewife right now, and I watch every franchise. Tilly, favorite friend of all time. Sutton and Garcelle together were the only thing keeping me remotely interested this season. But if Dorit and Erika stick around next season, I'm out. Kyle will never get the boot, but honestly, I wish she would. Sutton's the only one asking the hard questions, and the fake 5 can't handle it. Why the heck is Sutton still loyal to Kyle? Some people have suggested that Kyle's got some pull with Andy and the producers. Personally, I think Kyle, Dorit, and Erika need to go. They brought zero fun or excitement this season. Dorit and Erika can't stand Sutton because she asks all the questions we're all thinking, and let's face it, they'll never be in her league socially or financially. Sure, Sutton can be a little weird and extra at times, but that's just who she is. The divorced 5 are just petty mean girls who've clearly watched Mean Girls 1 too many times. So there's this whole drama between Lisa Rinna and Andy Cohen, and it's honestly a bit of a mess. Apparently, Rinna went on a podcast and said that RHOBH is a sinking ship, ouch, and that Bravo was practically begging her to come back. Andy then invites her on his podcast, where she offers a half apology, but also doesn't really apologize. Like, what was that about? Very unclear. Then, just to top it off, she goes on yet another podcast and says she wants to everyone's head off with a diamond saw. Okay, what is even happening here? Oh, and Andy, bless his heart, kept insisting during their chat that this season was doing the best ratings-wise. I was shocked because, honestly, this season felt like watching paint dry compared to some of the earlier, iconic seasons. But hey, maybe that's just me. What do you all think about this whole Rinna-Andy Bravo drama? Look, leaving Real Housewives can go one of two ways. You either gracefully walk away, head held high, and live your life, or you do what Rinna did and become obsessed with the drama long after you've left. Newsflash, Rinna, it's not a good look. And speaking of bad looks, let's talk about the FF5, the Real Housewives core clique, who've pretty much ruined the show. They formed this unspoken alliance where they just target the new girls and bully them off. It's honestly getting tiresome. I miss the days when they could have some real drama, but also have fun and bond as a group. Now it feels like they're just going through the motions, quick disagreements followed by quick makeups. It's obvious they have some sort of pact to stay tight, and it's totally ruining the dynamic. As for this season, well, it was pretty dull, but I did enjoy the additions of Beauvais and Jennifer Tilly. Rinna, though, total loose cannon. She says the weirdest stuff, and Andy, of all people, knows that. Honestly, I think Rinna wasn't wrong about the state of the show. She didn't even say it was sinking because she left. In another podcast, she even acknowledged that the golden days of RHOBH are long behind us. It's like, let's be real, it's not what it used to be. Still, I like this season more than the last couple, but it definitely didn't blow me away. It's getting viewers, but Andy's definitely being a little too defensive. Season 14 of The Real Housewives was, hands down, one of the most excruciatingly dull seasons ever. The cast is just off. It's like they had a family reunion, and only a couple of people brought any drama, while the rest are just awkwardly standing around with their arms folded. There's no chemistry, no energy, no one stepping up to the plate with something interesting to share. It feels like the whole season was carried by just a few people, and the rest of them are just there for moral support. Let's talk about Dorit. She's the only one this season who's remotely willing to share her life. Erika and Kyle, not a chance. They're too busy pretending like everything's peachy when it's obvious they've got skeletons in their closets. And the rest of the cast? I don't know, they just don't have much going on. Garcelle, for all her attempts, is just kind of there, and Sutton. Let's just say I'm over it. She keeps pushing that recycled fashion line, which, let's be real, no one cares about. Meanwhile, the most eventful thing she did this season was throw two parties that ended up being more meh than must-watch. We need fresh blood. New people who will actually stir things up and keep it interesting. Who do I want to see back? Kim Richards, LVP, and Rinna for sure. They bring the chaos, and let's face it, this show is in desperate need of chaos. Maybe throw in Brandy and Yolanda too. I'd be fine with that. And Kyle? Honestly, she has to go. She's the biggest problem with the cast right now, too cozy with production, too wrapped up in her own world. If anyone's holding the whole show back, it's her. Erika, Dorit, and Sutton can all follow her out the door for good measure. No more FF5 nonsense. Oh, and don't even get me started on the drama they are sharing. Dorit's out here talking about how awful PK is, but never a peep about her own financial mess. Kyle will spill all the tea about what Mo is up to, but heaven forbid she address her own scandals. Erika has lawsuits piling up, but let's just focus on her wallpaper, shall we? They're all sharing their own little spin, but no one's touching the real issues. As for the boring housewives, Garcelle is doing her best to build a real empire, not just play around with overpriced caftans. Sutton's sustainable fashion storyline feels like a half-hearted attempt to make us care, but Garcelle's house building from scratch. That's real. We can't forget Boz either. Her fertility drama is a little early to be the main plotline, but hey, maybe it'll develop. And then there's Kathy and Jennifer, who seem to be serving as emotional support animals for the rest of the group. Honestly, Garcelle should have quit and Sutton should have followed her out the door. But Garcelle's too good for this mess, and Sutton? She's just waiting for her inevitable takedown. As for Kyle, she's never leaving. She's got production in her pocket. Erika and Dorit's fate. In Kyle's hands, of course. As for Jennifer, she's out, and the new Housewives. Oh, they'll be Kyle approved and absolutely forgettable. I had to tap out a few episodes, and because I was so bored. Dorit being the lead? Nope, didn't work. Kyle either needs to spill everything about Morgan or she needs to go too. Garcelle checked out, and who can blame her? And Boz is too new for me to care. Erika? Don't even get me started. She's a disaster, and it's beyond time for her to go. The rest? Well, they're just background noise at this point. When only a couple of people are carrying the weight, the whole dynamic falls flat. There's no one here who feels like a star. We don't have a Neen, a Bethany, or a Vicky, no one to really drive the drama. And that's the problem. Without a central figure, this season just felt like a snooze fest. So I'm catching up on RHOBH, and I'm currently on season 12, episode 10. In the previous episode, we had the lovely moment at Garcelle's birthday party where Erika, who, by the way, I used to love, but now I can't stand her so much that I literally fast-forward through her scenes, decided it was a great idea to cuss out Garcelle's 14-year-old son. Twice, because why not? Of course, after realizing she might have taken it a little too far, she threw out a half-hearted, insincere apology that felt more like butt-kissing than genuine remorse. Garcelle, being the bigger person, honestly, she's a saint because if it were me, Erika would have been cussed all the way out, accepted it. I don't know how she did it. But then, the real fun begins. First, we've got, let me insert myself into a conversation that doesn't even concern me, Kyle, jumping in to defend Erika. She agrees that Erika was wrong, but then casually adds, I'm happy to see Erika let loose. What? So it's cool that an adult cursed out a child, because apparently Erika's just finding herself. And don't even get me started on Mauricio. Earlier in the episode, he thought it was great that Erika cursed out a 14-year-old. He was thrilled to see her loosening up. Yeah, I'm sure if it were an old man or woman cussing out their daughter, they'd be equally supportive, right? Spoiler alert, they wouldn't be happy. They'd be livid. Honestly, Kyle's starting to drive me nuts. I used to like her, but now I just can't. She's so clearly afraid of Erika, and it's getting annoying. What's wrong is wrong, and Erika was wrong. And don't even get me started on Garcelle forgiving them. I have no idea how she did it. I wouldn't have been able to. And to top it off, at the reunion, it wasn't even addressed properly, which is honestly just infuriating. I mean, had it been Sophia, Garcelle's daughter, getting cussed out, you better believe it would have been addressed. So don't come at me with this let people loosen up nonsense. Nope, not having it. So it's pretty clear the FFF, yes, I'm looking at you, Kyle, decided to tag team Garcelle. Classic divide and conquer, right? But when Andy casually strolls in and asks Kyle, why the silent treatment for Garcelle? As she walks onto the reunion stage, does anyone have even the faintest clue what Kyle's reason would be? I mean, it's hilarious that Kyle had a complete meltdown when Garcelle said Sutton wanted support from her. Is that Garcelle's unforgivable sin? Supporting a friend? Ridiculous. Let's not pretend it was the whole Morgan conversation. Kyle was still on speaking terms with Garcelle after that debacle. So what's the real issue here? And of course, according to Kyle and her merry band of misfits, it's all the FF's fault that Garcelle left the group. But don't even dare mention the fact that Sutton didn't have her back the way Garcelle had Sutton's countless times before. Funny how that gets conveniently swept under the rug. Kyle and her clique have this weird vendetta against anyone the fans actually like. Newsflash, Garcelle is a fan favorite. We enjoy watching her and Sutton's friendship, which is exactly why they're doing everything they can to mess with it. Bravo shows aren't about showcasing happy friendships or good vibes. No, it's all about the drama and the chaos. Let's be real, Kyle is the queen of passive-aggressive behavior. She punishes anyone in her circle who dares to slight her, and somehow she's totally fine with her petty actions, all while conveniently ignoring the glaring double standards. It's textbook covert narcissism, if you ask me. So when did it suddenly become okay to try and force Kyle out of the closet? I thought trying to out someone's sexuality was universally recognized as a terrible thing to do. Has that rule changed overnight? If Kyle is bi or a lesbian, why does anyone think it's their business to push that on her before she's ready to share it herself? People have their own reasons for staying in the closet, and it's their right to come out on their own terms. But hey, if it were anyone else, there'd probably be a protest about it. I'm not exactly a fan of Kyle, but I do agree with this. And let's talk about all the divorce drama for a second. Garcelle and Sutton want to dive deep into Kyle's separation, but this involves more than just Kyle. It's Mauricio and their kids too, who might not be so thrilled to have their private lives aired on TV. Remember how everyone respected Garcelle when she said Oliver didn't want his personal issues discussed on air? So why is it suddenly okay to disregard that same respect when it comes to Kyle's divorce? Oh, and let's not forget, it was perfectly fine for her to spend an entire season relentlessly going after Denise. But now people are acting like outing Kyle is some noble cause. That's just ridiculous. If anything, Kyle's behavior is giving off the vibe that being gay is something to be ashamed of, which, by the way, it absolutely isn't. Season 14, Kyle vs. Dorit drama, what really went down? So I just dove into Season 14, and I'm honestly lost on what happened between Kyle and Dorit. Can someone break it down for me? What exactly went down, and where do you stand on this mess? Because here's my take. Kyle apparently decided PK was the better friend. Shocking, right? So she ditched Dorit and got cozy with him. Meanwhile, Dorit, being Dorit, can't keep her mouth shut about anything. Honestly, if she wasn't so preoccupied with her own life and that whole divorce drama, she probably would have spilled every last one of Kyle's secrets by now. Rewatching the early seasons of RHOBH, a sanity check. Let's talk about the early days of RHOBH, shall we? I honestly can't get over how sane and emotionally intelligent this woman is. Like, it's almost shocking that she ever managed to get a spot on this chaotic franchise. She's like an alien compared to the likes of Brandy, Rinna, and Kim. Seriously, she's an actual real person. Did anyone ever hear any tea about her? Because the vibe she gives off is just too normal for Housewives. On the other hand, totally hear you, but I see her in a totally different light. To me, she comes off as super insecure, especially about the way her relationship with her husband started. Like, why else would she keep bringing it up when no one else cared? Lissa apologized, like 3 or 4 times, and she just couldn't let it go. It honestly felt like she needed a storyline, even though she totally didn't, you know. At first, I liked her too, but honestly, everyone's got their own take on her. Plus, the fact that she was so close with Rinna, yeah, that definitely says something about her character.